All right, Bruchim Abayim, welcome everybody. J. Ohm asked on Quora, what are some concrete examples of differences in the Sephard versus Ashkenaz Siddur? When we say Sephard, I'm assuming you're talking about Nusach Sephard, which is for Ashkenazic Hasidic Jews and those who come from that ancestry. Although there are a lot of the differences between the Ashkenaz and the Sephardic Sephardic Siddur are also quite similar. That's where a lot of, essentially, what we call Nusach Sephard is somewhat of a mix between Ashkenaz and Sephardic, kind of meeting somewhere in the middle. I think there are two major glaring differences that a lot of people will notice. One, and this is the same for both the Sephardic and Nusach Sephard, is that in the Kaddish you have extra words. The Sephardic version actually has more extra words in general. Nusach Sephard, though, like Sephardic, adds the words V'yatzmach perkone v'kar mashiche in the Kaddish, which means that God's salvation should sprout, and he should bring close his Messiah. And some versions, particularly from the Chernobyler traditions, the Skver Hasidim, say V'yatzmach perkone v'karev kates Mashiach. They add the word kates, the end of his Messiah, meaning the end times, the Messianic era. Another example, major example of the differences is the order of the Psalms and other scriptural readings in the Pesukei de Zimra. Again, this will be the same for Sephardic and Nusach Sephard, is that the Baruch She'omar is pushed later in the service, meaning technically you can talk during Pesukei de Zimra in a Sephardic or Nusach Sephard setting until you get to Baruch She'omar, whereas in Nusach Ashkenaz, Baruch She'omar is pretty much right at the beginning, except one thing that actually was added from the Sephardic tradition and Nusach Sephard tradition was Psalm 30 was added before Baruch She'omar. In Nusach Ashkenaz, therefore, they recite another Kaddish after Psalm 30, which is not done in the Sephardic or the Nusach Sephard version. Some other examples are the differences in how the Kedusha is recited. Nusach Ashkenaz has the Kedusha Nekadesh as Shimcha Ba'olam, Keshem Shemakdishim Oso B'Shmei Marom. That that the Kedusha starts, we sanctify thy name in this world as they sanctify it in the heavens above. Whereas the Nusach Sephard says Nakdishach v'na'aritzach k'noim siach sard soid sefei kodesh, that we will glorify you and sanctify you in accordance with that which we find in the council of the holy seraphim. And then the Musaf for Nusach Ashkenaz has the words Naritzcha v'nakdishcha k'noim siach. So the Musaf that is recited in Ashkenaz is quite similar, not exactly, but similar to the regular Kedusha of Sephard. And then the Sephard and Sephardic Kedusha have the words Keser Yitnu Lecha Hashem Elokeinu Malochim Hamonei Mala Mecha Yisrael Kvutzei Mata Yachad Kulam Kedusha Lecha Yishaleshu. That we give you a crown, the angels above. We give you a crown, Lord our God, the angels above, and the people of Israel below, all together offer this sanctification. Another example of a difference would be in Shema Kolenu. The words Av Harachamon are added. Sometime and there are different versions, whether it's Shema Kolenu Av Harachman or Av Harachman Shema Kolenu. And there are several other differences, some of which actually in Eretz Yisrael would be found in the Ashkenaz Siddur. For example, the words Morid Hatol in the times when Mashi for Ruach and Morid Geshem is not said, so in the summertime. Sephardi and Nusach Sfard say Morid Hatol, and so does Ashkenaz and Eretz Yisrael, but not most Ashkenaz Sidurim outside of Eretz Yisrael, unless they're following the Minhag HaGro. The use of Sim Shalom by Mincha, and in some cases by Mariv, also is something you'll find in the Sephardic Nusach Sfard, as opposed to Ashkenaz, where they say Shalom Rav. Another, and in Eretz Yisrael, they say Sim Shalom by Mincha on Shabbos, though, in Ashkenaz. Another thing that Sephard does in Chutz La'aretz that Ashkenaz only does in Eretz Yisrael is say Ein Kolokenu every day, whereas by Ashkenaz, Ein Kolokenu is only said on Shabbos and Yom Tov. And then, as far as Sephardic and not Nusach Sfard, outside of Eretz Yisrael, the Kohanim recite the Birkas Kohanim, Duchening every day, whereas even Nusach Sfard, they do not do that outside of Eretz Yisrael, but in Eretz Yisrael they do, both in Ashkenaz and Nusach Sfard, as well as the Sfardim. Another difference will be the Yukum Perkon and Avarachaman. The Sephardim do not say those, but the Nusach Sfard and Ashkenaz do. So that's one of the ways that Nusach Sfard is more like Ashkenaz than like the Sephardic tradition. So those are pretty much some of the concrete examples of differences between the Sephardic, Nusach Sfard, and Ashkenazic Sidurim. There are earlier historical additions that the Ashkenazim had. For example, various piyutim, which are often called yotzros. And yet, for the most part, Hasidim from Russia and Poland did away with those, but from Hungary and Galicia kept them. But the truth is, it's really an Ashkenaz tradition that, for the most part, today in Ashkenaz has been lost. Another example is that the recitation of Shir HaYichud every day used to be an Ashkenaz tradition, and now it seems that it's almost all but lost. Perhaps some of the Yekisha communities still recite the daily Shir HaYichud, but for the most part, it's something that has disappeared, and I, for one, would like to see return. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe, comment, and we'll see you later. Did I turn this thing off?